Hello and welcome to part 5 of Every Spirit in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, where we look at every spirit in chronological order and discuss their various origins. While 1987 may not have been the best year, what with tropical bird extinctions and unfortunate deaths at the hands of animatronic pizza mascots, it was also the debut year of several big-name titles like Mega Man, Street Fighter, Metal Gear, and the NES Punch-Out! So let's brush away the tears and get real. Liquid Metal Slime is a metallic slime variant first encountered in Dragon Quest II. A member of the Metal Slime family, these weirdos have the standard qualities of metal monsters. Namely, they have ludicrously low HP and attack, but are also insanely fast, defensive, immune to all forms of magic, and have a bad habit of running away if not killed in about one turn or so. That said, they also give out absurd amounts of EXP, and are found slightly more often than other metal monsters, so they're a popular pick for grinding out experience. Likely due to this, they've appeared in all main series games since, and several spin-offs including Dragon Quest Monsters, Heroes, and Builders 2. In Smash Ultimate, Liquid Metal Slime is represented by a blue metallic Kirby, representing a metallic slime. The stage you fight him on is the Great Cave Offensive, referencing how liquid metal slimes tend to inhabit cave systems. The music that plays is Battle for the Glory from Dragon Quest IV, a game which did feature liquid metal slimes. The rules for the battle will increase liquid metal slime's movement speed and defense, but also decrease his attack, referencing their stats in Dragon Quest, specifically their increased move speed and defense and their lower attack power. The conditions will make the enemy have super armor, make the enemy start the battle with a Franklin badge, and make it a timed stamina battle. The super armor is another reference to their high defense, the Franklin badge is a reference to their immunity to magic, and the timed battle is a reference to their tendency to run away if not killed quickly enough. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support type spirit, with its effect being move speed up, another reference to Liquid Metal Slime's high movement speed. Athena Asamaya is the descendant of the goddess Athena, and the main protag of SNK's Psycho Soldier. Her story begins when a race of monstrous warriors called Shiguma are unleashed to cause chaos across the world. Awakening her dormant psychic powers, she and her friend Sai Kenso travel the land thrashing and trashing the monsters to save the human race from extinction. While Psycho Soldier never got a sequel, Athena has still made many more appearances in the King of Fighters series, swapping outfits several times between the games. Also fun fact, Psycho Soldier is the first video game with an in-game vocal theme, so you can thank it for Jump Up Superstar and the zillions of different Sonic songs. In Smash Ultimate, Athena is represented by Blue Palutena and Green Richter, with Palutena being Athena and Richter representing Sai. The stage you fight them on is Mushroomy Kingdom, representing the destroyed, ruined setting of Psycho Soldier, as well as the auto-scrolling gameplay. The music that plays is Psycho Soldier theme overseas version, obviously the theme from her debut game. The conditions for the battle make the enemy favor special moves, and make Richter start off with a ray gun. Richter's ray gun is meant to reference Sai's psychic projectile attacks, and Palutena's special moves are meant to represent Athena's psychic powers, including various projectiles, teleportation, and reflective barriers. After being defeated, she can be equipped as a support-type spirit, with her effect being Franklin Badge equipped, referencing Athena's psychic reflector ability. Heracles is the god of strength and recurring character in the fittingly named Glory of Heracles series. In his debut game, Tojin Makyoden Heracles no Aiko, he goes on a grand adventure to rescue the goddess Venus from the evil Hades. I'll be honest, I couldn't find any more specifics regarding this game due to it being Japanese exclusive as well as being weirdly underdocumented, but I did learn this was his only starring role apparently. He does return in future games, but always in a support role for the other protagonists. This spirit specifically depicts him in the DS Glory of Heracles, the only game in the series originally released in English. Here, he's an amnesiac self-proclaimed hero who was arrested in Sparta for refusing to pay food. He frees himself after meeting the game's hero, who also calls himself Heracles, and helps fight with his brutal strength. In Smash Ultimate, Heracles is represented by Simon, a muscular hero dressed in red. The stage you fight him on is Temple, representing the Roman setting of the Glory of Heracles games. The music that plays is Revolt Striving for Hope, from Cold Sept Revolt, a handheld fantasy role-playing game much like Glory of Heracles. The rules and conditions will make food items spawn, and make the enemy start the battle with an ore club. The food items are a reference to Heracles being a glutton in Glory of Heracles DS, and the ore club is a reference to the club that Heracles wields also in Glory of Heracles for the DS. After being defeated, he can be equipped as an attack-type primary spirit, likely a reference to his supreme strength. Cardboard Box is a seemingly unassuming box frequently seen in the Metal Gear series. These boxes are traditionally used for the storage and transport of goods, whether shipping items to storefronts or packing items to move out. In Metal Gear, Snake could find an empty box stored in Outer Heaven, and could duck inside of it to hide from enemy soldiers. However, soldiers will suspect something's up if you don't hide well, or move whilst hiding, and since it's cardboard, it offers basically no defense from anything at all. They've since appeared in all future Metal Gear games, with some allowing you to ride transport trucks, and others being used by enemies to hide from you. In Smash Ultimate, Cardboard Box does not have a spirit battle. Instead, you must either purchase it from Timmy and Tommy's, or find a treasure chest in the base in World of Light. After being obtained, it can be equipped as a support-type spirit, likely since it's a usable item. The effect it provides is improved escape, referencing its usefulness as a hiding spot from enemy goons. Gray Fox is a cybernetic ninja and former mercenary for Special Forces unit Foxhound. He joined the military as a child soldier, using his innocent appearance to trick enemies to let their guard down, and was subjected to several experimental treatments by the CIA to turn him into a perfect soldier. He made his proper debut in Metal Gear, having been captured by Outer Heaven's goons and needing to be rescued by Snake. He vanished afterwards, returned and was killed in Metal Gear 2, and would be rebuilt as a cyborg sometime after. His last appearance in the series' chronology was in Metal Gear Solid, sneaking through Shadow Moses to end Snake before assisting him in destroying Metal Gear Rex. In Smash Ultimate, Gray Fox is represented by Sheik, a masked ninja in yellow who specializes in hand-to-hand combat. The stage you fight him on is Shadow Moses Island, representing his appearance in Metal Gear Solid. The music that plays is Encounter, also used for Fox's fight in Metal Gear Solid. The rules for the battle make assist trophy enemies spawn, specifically Gray Fox, and also increase his movement speed, referencing his superhuman agility due to being a cyborg. After being defeated, he can be equipped as an attack-type primary spirit, likely a reference to how he's an extremely powerful military soldier. This spirit is also able to be obtained through summoning, using the cores of Mighty Gazelle and Shadow Man. Mighty Gazelle is a cyborg who was rebuilt after a fatal accident, and Shadow Man is a ninja, representing all of the various important parts of Gray Fox's character. Big Boss is a renowned Special Forces soldier and founder of the Foxhound Mercenaries. During the Cold War, he worked under the Boss, and his genetics will be used to form Solid, Liquid, and Solidus Snake. He was also the template for his body double and subordinate, Venom Snake, who has also been called Big Boss. He officially debuted in the original Metal Gear, guiding Snake through the Outer Heaven facility to disable the TX-55 Metal Gear. He would confront him at the end, revealing himself as the mastermind behind it all, trying to build a new country of soldiers, and fight Snake after he jeopardized everything. It would later be revealed that this was in fact Venom Snake, with the real Big Boss escaping and become president of Zanzibar Land in Metal Gear 2. He and Snake fought again, with Boss losing, and he would eventually succumb to the Fox Die virus as seen in the ending of Metal Gear Solid 4. Big Boss does not have a spirit battle in Smash Ultimate. Instead, the only way to obtain them is to enhance the Naked Snake spirit from Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. After doing so, he can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, with his effect being Metal Killer, likely referencing the Metal Gears from the Metal Gear series and how they are all very frequently destroyed. Werewolf is a lycanthropic monster first encountered in Castlevania II's Simon's Quest. A staple of folklore horror stories, these beasts are humans forced to shapeshift into canine monsters at the full moon. They're also closely related to vampires, likely explaining why they're so prevalent in the Castlevania series. While they were planned to appear in the first game, they didn't debut until the second, as hopping enemies roving Jova Woods. Fittingly, they have more health if fought at night as well. Castlevania Chronicles was the first time a werewolf appeared as a boss, and they have since appeared in both roles in several more games, including Symphony of the Night, Dawn of Sorrow, and Order of Ecclesia. In Smash Ultimate, Werewolf Spirit is represented by a wolf, a large black wolf-human hybrid. The stage you fight him on is Luigi's Mansion, a very fitting haunted house, and the music that plays is Crash in the Dark Night, from Dawn of Sorrow, a game that does feature werewolves as enemies. The conditions for the battle make the enemy's physical attacks have increased power, and make the enemy have increased movement speed. Both of these are a reference to the werewolves' increased physical power and their agility. After being defeated, it can be equipped as a support-type spirit, with its effect being dash attack up, again likely a reference to their swift attacking abilities. Carmilla is a female vampire who made her first Castlevania appearance in Simon's Quest. She's based on the character of the same name from an 1871 Gothic novella that actually predates Bram Stoker's Dracula by about 26 years. In her debut appearance, she appeared as a giant floating mask with one eye missing and the other crying bloody tears. /Monster Dance. She flies around launching fiery teardrops to roast Simon, and upon death she'll drop the magic cross, the only way into Dracula's castle. In her next appearance, Rondo of Blood, she will be given an actual body, with the original mask turning into a skull. She would primarily appear in this form in future games, and even gained a partner in the form of Laura, based on another character from Carmilla's original story. In Smash Ultimate, Carmilla's spirit is represented by a giant Meta Knight, a large round head with a dark color scheme. The stage you fight her on is Dracula's castle, her boss's home base, and the music that plays is Dwelling of Doom, referencing the Laruba mansion where she was originally fought. The rules of the battle will increase her defense and grant her invisibility, both of which possibly referencing her status as a boss and her status as being undead respectively. After being defeated, she can be equipped as a support-type spirit, possibly referencing her being a servant of Dracula. Her effect is Fire Explosion Resist Up, likely referencing her fiery tears of blood that she attacked with in the original Simon's Quest. Chen is an elderly martial artist who debuted in the original Street Fighter. He's fought in China and is a professional assassin, trying to find worthy opponents to fight against. He runs into Ryu during his own strength training journey, and despite his age, he's proven to be rather agile, hopping around trying to kick Ryu down. He made his playable debut in Street Fighter Alpha 2, where he was diagnosed with leukemia and retired to manage his restaurant with his family. He's also had several fights with Akuma, and in Street Fighter V is presumably killed by him, though his official status is unknown. In Smash Ultimate, Jen is represented by Lucario, a martial artist dressed in pink. The stage you fight him on is New Pork City, referencing the various urban Chinese areas that he's been fought at. The music is Fei Long Stage Type A, referencing another Chinese stage theme. The rules of the battle will decrease your jumping power, likely referencing the grounded fighting style of the Street Fighter games. The conditions for the battle make Lucario's aura have increased power, and make it a stamina battle. The stamina battle is a reference to Street Fighter's health bar system, and Lucario's aura might be referencing Jen's Kung Fu experience, of which he has quite a bit. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a neutral-type primary spirit, with its effect being Fist Attack Up, likely another reference to his powerful Kung Fu abilities. Sagat is a fist fighter from Thailand, and the final boss of the original Street Fighter. Having heard of Ryu's world tour, he challenges him to a fight and loses, birthing a lethal animosity towards him. He joined the criminal organization Shadlu, and acted as M. Bison's bodyguard to train himself to attain a revenge against Ryu. In Street Fighter Alpha 3, he fought a brainwashed Ryu, which taught him that all rivalries must have their limits, causing him to leave Bison and train to fight Ryu on their own terms. He's also had some internal conflict regarding deeply laid dark tendencies that he's tried to overcome throughout the games. In Smash Ultimate, Sagat's spirit is represented by Ryu, Sagat's rival who has a similar moveset. The stage you fight him on is Colosseum, referencing the Ruin stage that acts as Sagat's stage in Street Fighter 2. The music that plays is Sagat's stage Type A, for fairly obvious reasons, I'm sure. The rules for the battle will decrease your jumping power, referencing Street Fighter being a very grounded fighting game. The conditions for the battle will give the enemies super armor, make the enemy's physical attacks of increased power, and make it a stamina battle. The super armor is likely a reference to his status as final boss of the original Street Fighter, his increased physical attack power is likely a reference to his Muay Thai fighting style, and the stamina battle is a reference to Street Fighter's health bar system. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a shield-type primary spirit, with his effect being fist attack up, again likely a reference to his Muay Thai fighting style. Donbei and Hikari are a pair of adopted children and the stars of Famicom Mukashibanashi Shin Onigashima. Donbei was born in a rice bowl traveling down a river, while Hikari was born in a glittering bamboo tree. Mom found Donbei, Dad found Hikari, and they were both adopted by the couple. At 8 years old, a dragon appeared and turned all the citizens into monsters, with only Donbei and Hikari escaping. They now must join with 3 animal friends to travel the world, slay the dragon, and learn more about their mysterious origins. This was their only major appearance, but they have made cameos in games like Kirby's Dream Land 3 and Super Smash Bros. Melee, the latter of which being their only 3D appearance. In Smash Ultimate, Donbei and Hikari's spirit battle pits you against Young Link, Villager, Falco, Diddy Kong, and Duck Hunt. Link and Villager represent Donbei and Hikari, and the others represent their 3 animal friends, Ohana the pheasant, Matsunosuke the monkey, and Ringo the dog. The stage you fight them all on is Duck Hunt, representing the grassy 8-bit setting of Shin Onigashima. The music that plays is the Shin Onigashima medley for fairly obvious reasons, I'm sure. After being defeated, they can be equipped as a neutral-type primary spirit, and if you get them to level 99, they can be enhanced into Donbei and Hikari Shin Onigashima Koen. Speaking of... Donbei and Hikari Shin Onigashima Kohen are the grown versions of Donbei and Hikari from Part 2 of their debut title. Shin Onigashima was originally released in 2 parts, Zenpen and Kohen, with Part 2 apparently being sold separately. Part 2 began at the story's 5th chapter, taking place after what I think is a time skip. The duo has grown older and returns to their homeland to battle the evil dragon and his army of ogres once again. Donbei has also grown smarter, stronger, and much more protective over his sister. Or at least I think that's the story. There's surprisingly little info about the plot anywhere online, and I can't speak Japanese, so... In Smash Ultimate, Donbei and Hikari Shin Onigashima Kohen do not have a spirit battle. Instead, the only way to get them is to enhance Donbei and Hikari. After doing so, they can be equipped as a neutral-type primary spirit, with their effect being Stamina Up. Possibly a reference to how Donbei left in order to train and grow himself to be able to take down the evil dragon. Maybe. Doc Lewis is Little Mac's boxing coach who first appeared in the NES Punch-Out! A former heavyweight boxer, he trained Mac to take on the WVBA, with his most iconic training regimen being cycling with Mac chasing after him. Between rounds, he'll also offer tips and advice for Mac to take out his opponents. He will return in the Wii game in much the same function, and this time has also taken up an addiction to chocolate bars. He even got his own prequel game called Doc Lewis's Punch-Out!, effectively a prequel to the Wii game where Doc was the one and only opponent you could fight. In Smash Ultimate, Doc's spirit battle has you fight against Little Mac, Doc's student. The stage you fight him on is Boxing Ring from Punch-Out!, and the music that plays is Jogging/Countdown, referencing the theme that plays during Doc's training cutscenes in the NES game. The rules for the battle will increase Little Mac's attack power, defense, and movement speed, likely referencing Doc Lewis's Punch-Out, where after knocking the chocolate bar out of Doc's hands, his stats will be increased greatly. The conditions for the battle will also make it a stamina battle, likely a reference to the health system used in Punch-Out. After being defeated, Doc cannot actually be equipped as a usable spirit. Instead, he unlocks the gym, where you can leave spirits to train them and increase their levels. Von Kaiser is a German boxer from Berlin who first showed up in Punch-Out on the NES. He is the second opponent in the minor circuit, which is hilarious considering he's apparently a boxing teacher at a military academy. He's faster and stronger than Glass Joe and attacks with jabs and uppercuts, but still only requires a tiny bit more skill to defeat. He's also the second minor circuit boxer in the Wii game, where he has emotional trauma after being beaten up by children. This makes him insist on covering his face, so you'll have to wait for him to peek out before socking him in his assorted face parts. In Smash Ultimate, Kaiser is represented by a green Mario, referencing Kaiser's brown clothes and mustache. The stage you fight him on is Boxing Ring from Punch-Out, and the music that plays is the minor circuit theme, where Kaiser is fought. The conditions for the battle will make the enemy's punches and elbow strikes have increased power, make the enemy favor side smash attacks, and make it a stamina battle. The punches and elbow strikes, as well as the side smash attacks, are likely a reference to Kaiser's preference for straight jab moves, and the stamina battle is likely a reference to Punch-Out's health system. After being defeated, he can be equipped as an attack-type primary spirit, likely referencing his status as a boxer. His effect is Fist Attack Up, again likely a reference to the fact that he is a boxer. Piston Hondo is a Japanese boxer from Tokyo, debuting in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. He acts as the minor circuit champion and has the highest defense after Joe and Kaiser. However, this doesn't mean all that much, and if you're good at dodging his jabs, uppercuts, and his special move, the Piston Hurricane, he'll go down pretty easily all things considered. He returned in the Wii reboot, this time as the first opponent of the major circuit, and comes with all of his NES attacks in full force. For some bonus facts, his name and attacks are reminiscent of Piston Hurricane, another Japanese boxer who Hondo likely replaced. And in the Wii game, during title defense intermissions, he can be seen reading a copy of Sailor Moon, a cameo that may have cost Nintendo several $1 million to include. In Smash Ultimate, Piston Spirit Battle has you fight against a giant Little Mac, a boxer who's bigger than the normal Little Mac. The stage you fight him on is Boxing Ring from Punch-Out, and the music that plays is Jogging/Countdown from the NES Punch-Out. The conditions for the battle make it a stamina battle, and make the enemy favor smash attacks, referencing Punch-Out's HP system and Piston's preference for jab attacks respectively. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, with his effect being Fist Attack Up, referencing how he is a boxer. Don Flamenco is a Spanish boxer from Madrid, and first appeared in Punch-Out featuring Mr. Dream. Don is the first opponent of the major circuit, and mixes boxing with Spanish flamenco dancing. He'll taunt Mac into attacking, just to decimate his health, and if knocked down, he'll go into a rage and frantically spam attacks until he gets in a Max Mac. He returned in the Wii game, much like the rest, this time as a champion of the major circuit. He also shows interest in bullfighting and is quite a ladies' man, and like before, he's got a short temper, triggered if he loses his toupee. He also has a love interest named Carmen, who's mentioned in both titles, though her exact identity is unknown. In Smash Ultimate, Dawn is represented with Ken, a fighter with a yellow and red color scheme. The stage you fight him on is Boxing Ring from Punch-Out, and the music that plays is Viga Stage, referencing Dawn's flamenco themes and Spanish roots. The conditions for the battle will make the enemy's up special have increased power, make the enemy favor up specials, and make it a stamina battle. The up special preference and increased power is a reference to Dawn's Rose Flurry uppercut move, one of his signature attacks, and the stamina battle is likely another reference to the HP in Punch-Out. After being defeated, he can be equipped as an attack-type primary spirit, which may be a reference to his short temper, and his effect is Weight Down, referencing how he is a lightweight boxer. King Hippo is arguably the most iconic boxer that Max ever faced in the Punch-Out series. Debuting in the NES game, he's said to come from and is presumably the king of the fictional Hippo Island in the South Pacific. In gameplay, he's the second boxer faced in the major circuit, and is very powerful due to his massive size. However, when he opens his mouth, you can punch him in the head, then the stomach to knock down his shorts, leaving him vulnerable. And when he goes down, his weight keeps him from ever getting back up. He returned on the Wii with basically the same moveset and strategy, requiring belly blows to chisel through his massive HP bar. He's also got probably the funniest title defense match, and made only one other notable appearance, acting as a lackey to Mother Brain in Captain N. In Smash Ultimate, King Hippo is represented with a giant pink King K. Rool, who is a king with a massive gut and matches the color of Hippo's boxing gloves. The stage you fight him on is Boxing Ring from Punch-Out!, and the music that plays is a remix of the Minor Circuit, which featured Hippo in the Wii title. The conditions for the battle will make it a stamina match, once more a reference to the HP system that Punch-Out! Uses. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, with his effect being shield durability up, which may reference how in the Wii game's title defense mode, he utilized a manhole to try and protect himself from max attacks. Cutman, model number DLN003, is one of the original Robot Masters reprogrammed by Dr. Wily. He was originally built by Dr. Light as a wood-cutting robot to assist in forestry, before Wily got his hands on him and turned him evil. He is found in the aptly named Cutman stage and is one of the easier Robot Masters, with relatively predictable and somewhat weak attacks. He's also weak to Gutsman's super arm, which will smash him to bits in 2 hits. He's since made a few cameo appearances and occasionally has shown up as a special boss fight, and he's also been described as cunning, stubborn, and of course very bad at rock, paper, scissors. In Smash Ultimate, Cutman's Spirit Battle has you fight against 2 orange young Links, representing the 2 blades of a scissor. The stage you fight him on is Wily Castle from Mega Man, and the music that plays is Cutman's stage. The conditions for the battle will make the enemy's side special have increased power, make the enemy favor side specials, and make it a stamina battle. Young Link's side special, the Boomerang, is meant to be a reference to Cutman's rolling cutter attack, which functions very similarly. The stamina battle is of course meant to reference his health as a boss. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, which may not be a reference to anything in particular. Gutsman, or Dr. Light number 004, is one of Light's strongest robots, and was introduced in the original Mega Man. He was originally built for civil engineering and construction, using his strength to carry heavy loads. After Wily reprogrammed him, he used his strength to lift and toss heavy objects to crush rock into scrap metal. After his defeat, Mega can use his super arm to lift heavy objects himself. Since then, he's made several appearances throughout the series, some major, some minor. These include Mega Man 7 and 8, the Power Battle, and having a counterpart in the Battle Network series, Gutsman.exe. In Smash Ultimate, Gutsman's Spirit Battle has you fight against a giant orange Mega Man, referencing Gutsman's size and color. The stage you fight him on is Gerudo Valley, referencing the mountains seen in Gutsman's stage, and the music that plays is, of course, Gutsman's stage. The rules for the battle make earthquakes spawn and make an item tidal wave occur, specifically barrels. The earthquakes are a reference to Gutsman shaking the stage whenever he jumped in the original game, and the barrels are meant to reference the heavy objects that he chucked at Mega Man. The conditions for the battle make the enemy have super armor, make it a stamina battle, and make the enemy favor grabs and throws. The grabs and throws are a reference to how Mega Man uses the super arm as a grab in this game. The stamina battle references Gutsman's HP bar, and the super armor is a reference to Gutsman's increased size and strength. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, which might also be a reference to the super arm. Iceman, or Dr. Light number 005, is another of Dr. Light's humanoid robots introduced in Mega Man. He was originally crafted to perform human tasks in extreme climates, mostly sub-zero temperatures. Like the rest, Wily reprogrammed him into a servant, and Rock fought him on his stage to free him. He'll skate around the battlefield and launch ice slashers, sharp ice blades at -200 degrees temperatures, to damage Mega. Amazingly, he's weak to XRavenXP's weapon, not Fireman's. He's since made a few reappearances in games like Battle and Chase, Super Adventure Rockman, and Street Fighter Cross All Capcom, and another Ice-themed robot master, Freezeman from Mega Man 7, is said to greatly respect him. In Smash Ultimate, Iceman's represented by the Ice Climbers, who resemble him and attack with ice. The stage you fight him on is Summit, referencing Iceman's Ice Stage, and the music that plays is, of course, Iceman's Stage. The rules for the battle make an ice floor spawn, representing Iceman's Slippery Stage. The conditions for the battle make the enemy's ice and water attacks of increased power, give the enemy super armor, and make it a stamina battle. The super armor is a reference to how Robot Masters took very little knockback in Mega Man, the stamina battle is a reference to the HP system from Mega Man, and the ice and water attacks are referencing the Ice Slasher. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, possibly referencing how Iceman was forced to work for Wily, or Mega Man using the Ice Slasher as a custom move in Super Smash Bros. 4. The effect that he provides in this game is Lava Floor Resist, referencing how the Ice Slasher was the weakness to Fireman. Bombman, or Dr. Light number 006, is one of the Robot Masters built by Dr. Light in the original Mega Man. He was designed to work along with Gutsman in land development and demolition, using explosions to clear out debris. Naturally, Wily reprogrammed him to use his bombs for evil, which is perfectly fair, they are bombs after all. He fights Mega by jumping around and hurling bombs at him in a high arc, making them somewhat easy to dodge if you can react quick enough to him. He's weak to Fireman's Firestorm and grants Mega the Hyper Bomb ability after being beaten. He's since made a few appearances in later titles like Super Adventure Rockman, Mega Man 3, and Mega Man Soccer. In Smash Ultimate, Bombman is represented by two orange younglings, who match his color scheme and ability to use bomb weapons. The stage you fight him on is Wily Castle from Mega Man, and the music that plays is Bombman Stage. The conditions for the battle make the enemy's explosion and fire attacks have increased power, make the enemy favor down specials, and make it a stamina battle. The explosion and fire attacks, as well as the preferred down specials, are of course referencing Bombman's Hyper Bomb attacks. The stamina battle is again another reference to the HP system used by Mega Man. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, possibly referencing how Mega Man can use his weapon after defeating him, or how Dr. Wily reprogrammed him. The effect that he provides is Ba-Bomb equipped, again likely a reference to his bomb attacks. Fireman, or Dr. Light number 007, is yet another of Dr. Light's Robot Masters introduced in Mega Man. He was built as an incinerator for waste disposal facilities, using flames that can reach 8,000 degrees. Naturally, Wily reprogrammed him to use those flames to burn anyone who tried to oppose him. Mega Man fought him, dealing with his massive waves of fire, and beat him to obtain the Firestorm weapon. He was weak to the Ice Slasher, naturally. After this, he's made appearances in Rockman X-Over, Dr. Wily's Revenge, and has a NetNavi incarnation called Fireman or Torchman.exe. In Smash Ultimate, Fireman is represented by a red Mega Man, a red humanoid robot built by Dr. Light. The stage you fight him on is Norfair, referencing his fire-themed stage, and the music that plays is, of course, Fireman Stage. The rules of the battle make a lava floor spawn, referencing the magma pits that can be found throughout Fireman's stage. The conditions for the battle make it a stamina battle and make the enemy favor down smash attacks. The stamina battle is of course a reference to Mega Man's use of health meters, and Mega Man's down smash, the Flame Blast, is meant to reference the Firestorm weapon that Fireman uses. After being defeated, he can be equipped as an attack-type primary spirit, possibly referencing his role as a boss fight in the original game. His effect is water weakness, since water puts out fires. XRavenXPman, or Dr. Light number 008, is the last of Light's Robot Masters from Mega Man 1, and the most advanced of the bunch. Boasting razor-sharp judgment and superb agility, XRavenXPman was built to manage the electrical output of power plants. Like the rest though, he was brainwashed by Wily and forced to battle Mega Man, which of course ended in his demise. He was weak to the Rolling Cutter and granted the Thunder Beam special weapon, able to pass through enemies and solid objects with its high voltage current. Like the others, he's made a few cameos in later games, and in the Mega Man remake, Mega Man Powered Up, his weakness was changed to the Oil Slider, granted from the new boss, Oil Man. In Smash Ultimate, ElecMan is represented by Pikachu Libre, a masked electricity wielder. The stage you fight him on is Wily Castle from Mega Man, and the music that plays is Gutsman Stage, also from Mega Man. The rules for the battle make a Zap Floor spawn, referencing his electricity theme and use of the Thunder Beam. The conditions for the battle make the enemy's electric attacks have increased power, and make it a stamina battle. The electric attacks are, of course, another reference to ElecMan's electricity-based moves, and the stamina battle is once more a reference to the health system in Mega Man. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a Grab-type primary spirit, with his effect being Electric Attack Up, once again referencing his electricity-based moves. Metars, also called Mets and Metals, are very common sights throughout the entire Mega Man franchise. Much like Goombas or Waddle Dees, these guys are very basic enemies, who attacked in very easily predicted patterns. However, they take it up a notch by wearing an indestructible helmet that cannot be broken by any of your attacks. To beat them, you'll need to wait for them to attack and shoot their opening, trying to dodge their fire whilst doing so. Being the most basic enemy, they've got numerous variants, including Giant Metals, Space Metals, and Metal K1000. They're also present in every single spin-off series, with the sole exception of the Legends games, which has the similar Shekuten enemies. In Smash Ultimate, Metar's spirit has you fight against Pac-Man, a yellow spherical creature. The stage you fight him on is Wrecking Crew, referencing Cutman's stage where they appear as enemies, and the music that plays is also Cutman's stage. The conditions for the battle make it a stamina battle, make the enemy shield often, and make the enemy not like to jump. Their constant use of shield is a reference to their indestructible helmets that they duck inside of, their not jumping is a reference to how most variants of Metars do not jump, and the stamina battle is a reference to the HP used by Mega Man's various bosses. After being defeated, it can be equipped as a shield-type primary spirit, again referencing its impenetrable helmet, and its effect is Jump Down, again a reference to the fact that regular Metars not being able to jump. Dr. Albert W. Wily is the main villain of the original Mega Man series, an arch-nemesis to the Blue Bomber. He was once Dr. Light's partner, an extreme but well-intentioned robotic researcher, always in Dr. Light's shadow. Constantly upstaged by Light, he'd plan his revenge by capturing and reprogramming 6 of Light's robots to conquer the world. He skipped over one of the robots though, a simple house cleaner, who convinced his father to upgrade him into the super fighting robot Mega Man, granting Wily his very own nemesis. Amongst his many evil acts are kidnapping Dr. Cossack's daughter in Mega Man 4, sponsoring the first annual robot tournament in Mega Man 6, harvesting evil energy from an alien in Mega Man 8, unleashing the Roboenza virus in Mega Man 10, and creating the Maverick virus, which would cause plenty of its own issues throughout the Mega Man X series. In Smash Ultimate, Dr. Wily is represented by Dr. Mario and 8 Metal Mega Man. Mario represents Wily, while the Mega Man represent the Robot Masters, who, in most Mega Man games, serve as a boss rush that you'll need to conquer before being able to get to Wily. The stage you fight him on is Wily Castle, his home base, and the music that plays is Mega Man 2 Medley, which may reference how the Wily's Castle stage in Smash is based on its incarnation in Mega Man 2. The only condition for the battle is Stamina Battle, which of course is another reference to the health system in Mega Man. Very fitting here, considering Wily is often a boss. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, and his effect is Jam Final Smash Charge, which may be a reference to how Mega Man's Final Smash uses several Mega Men who have fought either Dr. Wily's legacy or his various interdimensional counterparts. Yellow Devil is the first combat robot built specifically by Wily in the Mega Man series. It first appeared as a fortress boss in Wily Castle 1 and is made of yellow goo-like shape memory blocks. These allow it to dismantle itself and fly about the stage in pieces, making it kind of a beach to avoid. It also attacks with lasers from its eye, which doubles as its one weak point, so Mega Man had to weave around its attacks and blast its eye whenever an opening presented itself. Since then, he's made only a few scattered cameos in games like Mega Man X Dive, Power Battle, and Battle and Chase, and was superseded by the Yellow Devil Mark II and III, seen in Mega Man's 3 and 11 respectively. In Smash Ultimate, Yellow Devil does not have a spirit battle. Instead, you need to obtain him through summoning, using the cores of Waddle Doo and Discoon. Discoon is a yellow creature with a relatively simple body shape, and Waddle Doo has one eye that it uses to fire beam attacks, just like Yellow Devil. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a neutral-type primary spirit, with his effect being Speed Down, possibly referencing how in his original battle, he did not move, outside of splitting himself into chunks and moving across the screen. Roll, or Dr. Light number 002, is Mega Man's younger sister and Dr. Light's assistant in the Mega Man series. In the first few games, her appearance was very small, often popping up in openings and endings to cheer on Mega Man and his world-saving antics. Her first major role was in Mega Man 8, where she ran a shop in Dr. Light's lab that Mega could use to trade bolts for upgrades. She returned in the same function alongside Otto in Mega Man 9 and 11, and also gave out hints in Mega Man and Base. She was also infected by Roboenza in Mega Man 10, even giving away her vaccine to Mega so he could stop Dr. Wily. She was playable for the very first time in the obscure video board game Rock Board, and has also appeared in games like Battle and Chase, Powered Up, and Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes. She even has several alternate counterparts from the spin-offs, including Roll a Casket and Roll.exe. In Smash Ultimate, Roll's Spirit Battle has you fight against Villager and Mega Man, Villager being Roll matching her outfit, and Mega Man being her brother. The stage you fight them on is Living Room, likely referencing Roll's status as a house-cleaning robot. The music that plays is Mega Man Retro Medley, from her debut game. The conditions for the battle make the enemy heal over time, likely a reference to Roll providing healing items to Mega Man throughout the series. After being defeated, she can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since she supports Mega Man on his adventures, and her effect is Auto Heal, again referencing the healing items that she can provide. Dr. Thomas Light, known as Dr. Wright in Japan, is a brilliant scientist and the father of Mega Man in his titular series. Light attended the Robot Institute of Technology, where he met Wily, graduated with PhDs in electronic engineering, and won many awards. Becoming the world's leading expert of robotics, he created multiple civil service droids before crafting far more intelligent sentient machines, including Proto Man, Rock, and Roll. Following Wily's uprising and Rock's upgrade into Mega Man, Light would provide several upgrades and helpers for Mega Man across the series, including Rush, Eddie, Tango, Auto, and transport items 1 to 3. He also shows up in the Mega Man X series, being the creator of X and guiding him long after his death with various holograms. In Smash Ultimate, Dr. Light is represented by Dr. Mario and Mega Man, with Mario being Light and Mega being his greatest creation. The stage you fight them both on is Wily Castle, and the music is the Mega Man 2 medley, both coming from his debut series. The conditions for the battle make it a stamina battle, and make the enemy tend to avoid conflict. The stamina battle is, for the final time, a reference to the health bars in the Mega Man series, and the enemy avoiding conflict is a reference to how Light is actually a pacifist. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, referencing his support role in the Mega Man series, and his effect is Zap Floor Immunity, which is most likely a reference to his robotics expertise. And that is every spirit born in 1987. Thank you so very much for watching, and tune in next time for every spirit born in 1988. Including 3 Famicom gems and 2 Mario titles. That's a big deal.